As Above, So Below is a heart-stopping journey to the Paris catacombs. Join us as we dissect the harrowing descent of archaeologist Scarlett Marlowe and her team into the depths of terror and ancient secrets. Welcome back, everybody, to the second official episode of the Sleepover Movie Club. I'm your host Brian, as always, and with me I have my co-host Boyle.
Hello.
Why are you laughing? You're not allowed to laugh. What's so funny?
The start.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was the first try Brian, they call me. Anyways, this week, if you listen to last week's episode, at the end we mentioned that we're gonna do the movie As Above, So Below. So here we are. Now, Boyle, as we did first episode, give us a quick summary of the story of As Above, So Below.
So there's this college professor.
Yep.
And I don't really know what she does, but she decides to go and look for a sorcerer's stone.
Yeah, the philosopher's stone.
Philosopher's stone. So she goes on this little mission and tries to find clues on where it is, and she needs help from an old friend of hers.
Yep.
To
George.
To translate what some stuff says, because she doesn't understand every language.
Mm-hmm.
So this friend helps her out, and they end up finding they need help getting down to the into some catacombs. Ooh. The catacombs below Paris.
Mm-hmm.
So they need some help getting down there because that's where the thing she wants to find is. So they head down, and they think it's gonna be a simple job, and it is not. And spooky stuff starts happening.
All
and
right.
They go to hell.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's the story. So let's see. So the movie As Above, So Below came out August 29th, 2014, directed by John Eric Dowdle, who has also directed. Have you seen that one movie where the people are stuck in the elevator and one of them's the devil?
No.
Oh, well, maybe you see it on TikTok.
I think
that's a movie.
It was recommended.
Oh.
Right
Oh
after
yeah,
the
that movie Devil. It's called Devil. He directed that, and he directed one called Quarantine that I've never seen, and he's done like little random shows too. But let's see. This movie came out and it had a budget of $5 million, so in reality it's gonna be like 10 million plus marketing. So in opening weekend it made 8 million. So it made technically it made its money back, but it still needed some. And then in its whole run it made 21 million here in the US. Internationally it made 20 million. So overall it made for $41 million. So overall a very profitable movie. Now this movie got very bad reviews. You want to try guessing what they gave it? The critics did?
Out of 10?
It's out of 100%. It's on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
What's the percentage?
They gave it a 40.
40% is the audience score. 28% is the critics score. So no one really liked this movie. But I disagree. I thought this was a really good movie.
Yeah, me too.
Now for the build up and hype for this movie, a lot of it was like on social media rather than TV. So like they had a whole collab with PewDiePie and other little YouTubers. Like they flew them out to Paris and they like had little catacomb challenges for them, and they relied heavily on like found footage aesthetic for things. Like they're riding off the Paranormal Activity type train. That makes sense. And let's see here. So the story, it's Dante's Inferno. I don't know if you know. Do you know what Dante's Inferno is? I don't know what it was before this.
No.
So Dante's Inferno is this little poem written by some little random dude, and basically it's about this guy named Dante, and he has to traverse hell with his little help by some other dude. I forgot what his name is. He just needs to keep going through each different circles of hell, with each representing a different sin. So there's 9 circles, and it goes limbo, lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, heresy, violence, fraud, and treachery. So it's kind of like the deadly sins, but it's just like each level of hell is a different one. So I don't know if you noticed in the film, it kind of followed that as well.
And how?
So in the movie, let's see here. I got this written down in my little note. So in the very movie, when they first get into the thing, do you remember how they see that old friend of his, Latop?
Yeah, the one that got lost.
Like he's like, oh, the top one in there, he never came out. And when they enter the thing, they see him.
Yeah.
So that's level 1. That's limbo. Those are souls that never went to heaven or hell. So he's just trapped in there forever. So he's dead, which is kind of, you can see because he just teleports around everywhere. But he's in limbo.
Yeah,
And then level 2, in the movie, it skips some levels from what I've seen. Like, it just like technically has levels, but it doesn't really show the representation of them. But so level 2 is lust. And that's when they're like climbing through a tunnel and they hear a loud rumbling sound. Do you remember that when they all go deaf and shit?
Yeah.
That's level 2. And then they also see his little tombstone where the guy's dead. And then, so they skip level 3. And level 4 is greed, which is kind of obvious. What'd you think of that? How, like, would you have gone for the treasure? And because that's what greed is. It's when they saw the treasure and like she went for the stone and the people went for the treasure. What'd you think of that?
Like, would I have gone for the treasure?
Yeah, like you wouldn't assume it was a trap. Because when I saw it, I was like, this is clearly, obviously a trap.
I wouldn't go for it like right away. I'd wait for the people that know what they're doing to do something.
Rather than taking down the fucking door.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's level 4, and obviously they got trapped because of their greed. And then there's like a little random level that I couldn't really figure out what it was on my research, but it's when they pass through that thing and they're like, whoa, it's a reflection of the other side. You remember that?
Yeah.
So like apparently they're like right there, that means they're halfway through hell. Like that's the halfway point.
Because that's the entrance.
And then and then level 7 was violence, and that's when Susie, how do you say her name? Suxi? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where she got violently killed by Latop. And then his body is Kamal's body is rotten. And then level 8 is fraud. And I couldn't really find anything about fraud, but that's just what it is. And then level 9 level 9 is treachery. And level 9 is the very bottom one where they saw like the car and all that. And then where they also see like that burning, or not the hooded figure. Do you remember the hooded figure that was like sitting in the chair?
Yeah.
That was Satan.
Satan himself?
Yeah, because his face was like a disfigured face, and it was supposed to represent how in the Bible, Satan fell from heaven and he's like a fallen angel and he's like disfigured.
Oh. Weren't there multiple hooded figures?
They were like little cultists, but the guy sitting in the chair, that was Satan.
Okay.
Or supposed to be Satan. And yes, those are like the levels that they go through in hell. And so, how'd you feel about this movie, man?
I actually really liked it.
Yeah, you texted me right after you finished it. You said, "What a movie!"
I did text you. When the movie first started, once they like got into the catacombs the first time, that's when I like sort of it lost my interest a little bit. And then I'm not gonna lie, I was like kind of a little bit like dozing off. I was about to like fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then I like woke myself up, and then a lot more shit started happening. And then that's what like it got me like interested. It caught my attention. That's what like I really liked the movie.
What was your favorite part?
Favorite or scariest?
Oh, scariest. My bad. Forgot it's a horror movie.
Yeah, honestly, I think it wasn't even like this scary, but it like made me feel like so weird about it. Was when I forgot his name, but it was the black guy.
Benji.
It was when Benji was crawling through the bones and he starts having a panic attack.
Oh,
because he was like,
fun fact here, the bones are real.
Are they?
I'm skipping to the trivia here for a little bit, but it was the first ever film that got permission from the French government to film inside the catacombs. So it was the real catacombs. All the bones were real. Everything in there was real.
That's kind of crazy.
Okay, anyways, continue.
No, but yeah, like watching him have that panic attack because of fucking because he was like stuck. That shit made me feel weird. I was like cringing a bit, Yeah.
He was really freaking out. He was like, back up, and he's like, can't back up.
Yeah. That was about like the Because that's like the most like realistic one, you know?
Mm.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like
that could actually happen. He
Yeah.
could have just gotten stuck and died.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think of the ending? And you want to explain the ending?
Um. Well, what part? Like very end?
Like
Their escape?
her when she has to rescue George, basically. Like starting from there.
Um. So, George gets like his, what is it? His trachea?
He gets something bitten.
Yeah.
The both movies we watched so far, they're fucking like face bitten off. But
Yeah.
anyways,
He gets like bitten in the neck,
mm-hmm.
and he's dying. And what was the stone called again?
The Philosopher's Stone.
The Philosopher's Stone has like magic powers, and it like heals people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once they crossed over to like hell, basically, she had to put it back to get the like real stone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it turns out the stone is inside of her all along.
I thought that
What do you think of that?
I did not like that part. It would have been better if she actually got another stone.
Nope. It turns out it had to do with her faith, because it turns out the first stone was a fake stone that would only work one time. And that's you know what? I just connected to that. That's the fraud level. The stone was a fraud.
Oh.
So anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So keep going though about the ending.
Yeah, she has to go back to get the stone, but it's her.
Mm-hmm.
And
with the power of love.
With the power of love, she kisses the guy, and it heals him.
I thought that was so dumb. I thought that was so dumb. I was like, she did not have to kiss him. That was so dumb.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna like put her hand on his neck, like, or she technically did, you know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I thought that's the only thing she was gonna do. But she kisses him, and it heals him. Magic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I also forgot that one guy, like the other, I forgot his name. It was like Feb, something, or like something like that. The other dude, I forgot he was alive.
Oh.
Like he was really just a cameraman at the end. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was.
I was like, oh, this dude, because before then I was thinking, I was like, what happened to that guy? Like, did I miss his death or something? And then they just showed him at one scene. Like he was like, oh, we have to go back for Papillon, we have to go back. So did you understand like all their deaths? Like why they died?
No.
So basically, like the reason. Oh, go.
I was gonna say, I just thought Papillon's death was crazy.
I was with like he got sucked up and then he's like,
got sucked
not sucked up. He got sucked in.
He got sucked into the car of it. Like it was a burning car with his little brother, I assume.
It was actually. Do you remember when they first enter the catacombs when they're taking a tour of it? Do you remember there's a guy in there that like he's just chilling there? He's like, oh, we'll find Papillon. Yeah, that was him.
Oh, so that was act like a ghost?
It was a ghost. That was like supposedly like because like when Papillon's getting like sucked into the car, he's like saying like it wasn't my fault, which is like so he probably like got into a car accident with the guy and didn't save him, and the reason he died was because he didn't rectify himself by taking responsibility for it.
Oh, so if he would have taken responsibility right there, he wouldn't have kept getting sucked up.
Exactly. Because like Scarlett, she would have died because like it's hinted at throughout the film that her dad obviously killed himself because he hung himself, but the reason like her sin was that he called her on the phone, like a literal call for help, and she didn't answer. So like at the end of the film, when she becomes a Philosopher's Stone or whatever, when she's like, I'm sorry dad, I should have answered the phone or whatever, that's when she rectified her sins. That's when like she was like, okay, like she's allowed to leave at that point.
Oh, got it.
And then George, when he saw the piano with his little brother, he's like, when he saw the piano, he was like, whoa, this is something my dead little brother used to play. And then he saw him like in the water drowning, and then he explained like later on in the movie like, oh yeah, I didn't save my brother and I'm sorry. He rectified his sin there because he like realized he should have saved them. That's why he survived. And then Susie, she didn't have a backstory, but you could just assume she probably killed somebody because she got murdered, because everybody else dies kind of in the same way that they got, like that they did something bad.
Yeah.
And then Benji, like there's also no clear backstory, but it's like the rumor is like he probably had a kid with the woman and like abused them or something like that, or like abandoned them. That's why he got killed by that one lady carrying the baby and he got shoved down the thing.
Yeah.
So each of their deaths were like their sins coming back at them.
What did the other guy? He said he was like the cameraman. Towards the
Oh,
end, like
he had a kid with a woman and he never saw it. He abandoned his family. That's what he said he did, and he rectified his sin, and that's when they were all three able to survive.
when they jumped in the hole.
Yeah. How'd you feel when you saw that it was a manhole? Like, was that a twist for you?
The exit.
Yeah.
I thought it was like. I thought it was kind of cool. Not like that it's just a manhole, but like the way that they left, there it was like actually upside down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Dang. What was I gonna? I was gonna say something right now. Oh, you know what I found crazy was that when they first entered the catacombs, like they got found by the police, and that Papillon just randomly had fucking smoke bombs, and he started chucking smoke bombs at him. Remember that part?
Yeah.
I was like, where the fuck did this guy get smoke bombs? He's in Paris. He's like, smoke bomb out, smoke bomb out. I was like, this is doing too much.
I think the movie like caught my attention once they after like the cross space part happened, and they're like wait, you said you've never been here, because he tagged, the tags on the wall, it said Pap. Yeah, I think around there is when like it actually caught my attention, because I was like, oh, this is like it's actually getting like
Yeah, because I feel like after that the movie didn't really like slow down.
Yeah.
It just kept going. It was like little, like they'd keep going down, something would happen, keep going down, something would happen, and it was like interesting stuff. It wasn't like the same shit, same old shit.
That's so scary. I would not want to be first or last. I'd be in the middle.
Would you ever explore something like the catacombs?
Yeah, I'd explore it only because like it's mapped, people have been down there. So I don't think anything would happen if I like went exploring like with somebody, professional. Like, we have like good like equipment and stuff like that, but by myself, no, I wouldn't explore it by myself.
Yeah, well, because like, so also you may be wondering, like, since they filmed on location, like in the catacombs, how did they get the props down there? And they actually had to manually drag all the props down there, like that car that got dragged down all the way to like the tunnels of the catacombs. The piano did too. It was very difficult for the filming process of the movie because they had to do all that. And they would spend like 4 hours down there with no bathroom or anything, and they'd have to go up for the lunches, but then like the sun would hurt them, so they'd prefer to eat it inside the catacombs. Like they were really living in the catacombs while filming the movie.
Yeah. How do you know how long it like filming lasted?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I could definitely look this up. How long did As Above? What did you get the title? As Above, So Below. Did you get it?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really get it either. But it's like, no, I'm not even gonna try explaining it. She says it, but I didn't understand it. And I think in the movie, Benji's also like, what does that mean? But I think it's a cool title. I really like it. I just don't know what it means.
It sort of gave off like an Uncharted vibes when she was like, she took off the tablet off the wall and she started like mixing stuff onto it and like lit it on fire.
Oh,
yeah, it reminded me like Uncharted type of stuff.
I can't find how long it took to film, but I assume it couldn't have been longer than like a few weeks, just because they had to get permission from Paris and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, what would you rate this movie?
If I gave Conjuring like a 6, if I remember correctly, this one would have to be like I'd say it's a 9. I really like this one.
You really like this movie?
Yeah.
Like as a horror movie or just as a movie?
As a horror, because it actually like it was scarier because you didn't really know what the like antagonist basically,
Oh, that makes sense.
Like the thought of not knowing what's like next was like kind of scary.
It was kind of, yeah, because there really is no antagonist. Now that you say that, it's just like the catacombs itself is the villain, and there's like no real enemy, huh? Like they don't encounter like, oh, like we had to defeat this person.
Except for
they just have to escape the catacombs.
I thought that guy was the guy that got lost.
Latop?
Yeah, Latop.
Yeah. The mole, they said. Okay, so for the trivia, it's gonna be. So I already mentioned that it was the first ever film that was got permission from the French to film in the actual catacombs, and like it had the actual skeletons, and I already mentioned all that. So, and then second trivia is that Ben Feldman, who plays George in the movie, like her old friend, he actually suffers from claustrophobia. So they had to take consistent breaks throughout the filming process to accommodate his claustrophobia.
Why would you agree to that? You know?
Yeah, because you're working
if you have
underground in
claustrophobia,
tunnels.
you know what you're getting into.
And then let's see. So next one is the nightclub where Scarlett is in when she's looking for her Papillon. It's actually a real nightclub that was actually like working while they were filming, and it was an actual DJ that was performing. That's neat. And then the last trivia that I found, dang, I already mentioned this. It's that they actually had to fucking haul the piano and the car down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's as above, so below. So I didn't give my rating, but overall, I'm gonna say this movie was a solid 8.6 out of 10. I think what holds it back is the beginning. I think the beginning should have moved faster, and they should have gone to the catacombs faster. I think they spent too much time lollygagging. And then like she's not, where's she, like in Iran?
when she had to crawl through that hole in the family's house?
Yeah. She's in Iran, huh?
I don't even know.
I think she was in Iran. I thought like, what was the point of that, you know? Like they could have outdone with all that and just started when she goes like to the church.
I didn't know what was the point of like blowing up those like tunnels, you know?
Yeah, when they were like saying, oh, it's gonna blow, it's gonna blow, it's gonna blow.
Yeah.
Like, why? What was the point? I agree. That was dumb. So any final words, Boyle?
That's a good movie. That's about it.
Yeah, I also believe it was a good movie. And let's see. So for next week's episode of the Sleepover Movie Club, the movie we are going to be watching is, drumroll please, Scream 5. Dang, don't get too excited. Yeah, so we're going to be doing Scream 5, and then I think that'll be the last horror movie, because by then that'll release the 27th, and then we could move into November movies, which could be random movies. So make sure you check out our Twitter at SleepoverMC to submit movie requests. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram at the Sleepover Movie Club. Make sure you follow our personal accounts on Twitter at BrianRivera95 and Boyle, yours is.
Give me a second.
You don't even know it.
At Boyle12197.
So yeah, go ahead and do that and rate us a 5-star on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Recommend us to your friends and listen along to watch along to Scream 5 to catch all the breakdown and analysis and review in the next week's episode of the Sleepover Movie Club. Oh,
one more thing.
Yeah?
I think there might be one more movie review. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, we gotta do Five Nights at Freddy's, huh? So I guess the one that comes out November 3rd is gonna be Five Nights at Freddy's. So look out for Five Nights at Freddy's. Some might say we might even be able to watch it early due to our industry connections, thanks to this podcast, thanks to you, the listener. All right, and on that note, this concludes that episode. Bye.
Bye.